we have some new staff today. Who's this?
Emma.
And Emma's here providing tea and doing the lovely cake sale that we had today. I don't think we actually shot these yesterday, but we had a big cake sale. Some lovely cakes made by Lily, most of which went yesterday. And today there's also a Victoria sponge made by Emma, which has been very successful with the war gamers. One I think of a bake sale as being the thing they love, but it turns out men love cake. Who knew? Men and women. We have two female players here, Fan and Lily. So here we are on day 2. My voice is a bit croaky, as are many people. We're all a bit worse for wear, perhaps. But this is how the gaming hall is looking at the start of day 2. Now, I'm not sure if we have some late arrivals, so I'm just about to have to deal with them. Theo's just rocked up, so we will deal with that as he walks up and then let you know what's going on. So, as I was saying, here is how things are looking at the start of day 2. So, we'll work our way up. So this row down here is the 3rd tournament. So this is playing for the wooden axe. Here are the prizes. These joyous coins axes await the winners of this tournament. This is the quarter-final stage. So, we have Loki and Matt, and they are playing against the TO Ringer Army, which has been played by Tom for this game, which is our wild ride.
Dead.
Lots of dead, all the heroes dead first, like normal. That's Tom's dead, moving around here. That's their dead, going well for our armies ever. Aiming for that bottom place prize. Next up we've got Gary and Chris playing against Josh. Oh, Michael, excuse me. And this game's hold round, so we've got the Grey Company list against the Helena.
No.
Chris has got a rather magnificent objective in there. And we also have the latecomers, who will be playing against Lily in a ringer game. And Lily's going to be using the Florence Company against the Elves and the Dwarfs. And finally, in perhaps the most expected and unexpected matchup, we have on actually the bottom table, although that is just luck, we've got the Fluff Kings of Tom and James with their Army of the Dead against Double Dragon. Double Dragon on the bottoms. What happened, guys?
Master plan.
What?
Master plan.
Yeah. We're going to late run, yeah? Yeah, shooting up. So yeah, that is playing for the wooden axe. So these guys will, this is the quarterfinals, so the 4 winners will go on to play in the semis, and the 2 winners of that will play for the axe. Next up we have the Palantir Plate. So this is the 2nd place tournament. So this is made up of everyone who the 4 worst 2nd place teams from the group stage and the 4 best 3rd place teams from the group stage. So a couple of surprises perhaps in here. Perhaps most of all maybe is that Dan and Ian's Hobbits, Greenfield's army, which is a definite contender, just slipped out. Did you guys finish 2nd in your group? 3rd. We finished 3rd in the group, so that was a bit of a twist. Not as much as the Double Dragon choke, but...
the winner of our group got through on 1 win, 2 draws.
not a strong group.
No. Well, it was a good group. It was good fun.
Cool.
All the games were really close.
So the Hobbits, you would think, may be a good contender for this prize, and they're up against the Moria alliance between Olaf and Sam, which is cool. So you must be pretty pleased, I would have thought, to be fine for the plate.
Yeah.
Right, pretty good to get in there. The Balrog's been doing his work.
Not really.
Didn't he kill all the 3 hunters yesterday?
Yeah, that's yesterday.
Yeah.
He's not woken up yet.
And as we move up, we have Will and Fran against James and Callum, who seem to be playing each other and have booted them off the table, which is weird. So this is the Pelennor, Easterlings and Great Beasts army against the High Elves on one of Chris Young's rather fantastic custom mats. And as we move up, we have the slightly stomach-churning Tariel and Sam. Unfortunately, Billy lost his barrel, so he's taken on the Mega Tariel. And they're playing Mark and Alan. So we have the barrels out of Bond army, and for some reason we seem to have Alice guard in the river and the barrels on the ground. Like
So we're going to use a barrel.
There's a barrel in the river there. Try to put lots of.
We're going to use our Palantir
Good work.
to potentially get a free right move.
What was that? Bit of market?
Priority first. Priority first, my bad.
Billy just using the Palantir there that they won, being one of the 5 best armies. And they're playing the Rohan and the 3 hunters. And completing the last quarterfinal of the Palantir Plate, We have the Gondor army. It's the Fiefdoms army, four-phase Fiefdoms army of Imrahil and Faramir, which is very good. Very cool little force fighting against the Last Alliance battle. So we've got Gil-galad, Isildur, and a fight over Palantir, which we love to see.
We charge the guys either side of
So that's pretty cool. And finally, and I'll show you what they're playing for over here, they are playing for one of the top prizes, which is the Palantir plate. So the winners of that second tournament will get this, and they'll get that, one each. You haven't actually seen these. These are our. We have 7 of these, obviously, because there's only 7. These are some of the prizes we've got today, and the rest of our prize table. Ooh, including this rather epic prize donated by Mr. J. Giblin. So thank you. That's a spot prize. But I'm arguably going off topic because you want to see who is competing for this, the Palantir Cup. This is the top prize, and that's what's going on over here on these exciting tables. So, what have we got going on over here? So, the first quarter-final, we've got James and Jay, who, I don't know what they're doing up here, because frankly my fluff held them to a draw yesterday, but whatever. And we've got Dave and Michael. And so these are the... what?
Is that a camera?
Is this a camera? No, it's a cat. Hey, how you doing? So we've got the Birth of Rohan, I believe it's called, which is not just a bunch of Sons of Ale, led by Aol, and the Gondor, which is led by Tyrion, and they're up against the Helm's Deep Isengard army, which is loads and loads of unnamed captains, a demolition team, which is climbing over a hedge, a demolition team at a tournament, which got over the hedge, and loads of fighting over a kite. So they are fighting out. The second quarter-final is consisting of Jay and Steve, I remember, and Ali and Wobjigger. It's Wobjigger, amazing. Also known as Stephen to his mum. And on here we have the Dale-themed Battle of Five Armies. So we've got the Mirkwood and the Laketown. Thank you, Jay.
I got you, mate.
It's very early. And over there we've got the Rivendell Knights and it's the chase, isn't it? It's like the Rivendell Knights when they're chasing the Thorin's Company, Radagast on sleigh, and Thorin's Company somewhere. And as you can see, there's a couple of Palantirs about here. And there's lots of Palantirs about here.
There's 3 Palantirs.
There's 3 Palantirs on table. There's a dragon over there with 3. And these are little objectives that people can grab throughout the weekend, and they give the Saruman's rule. So if you grab one of them, it's a light object, and you get to get priority once per game. The third quarter-final is, hang on,
These are doing well.
these dice are doing well apparently, according to Larry, so get on that.
The channel blacked out to us.
No, they're not doing well. I'm going to edit that out. So we've got Lewis and JT from Awkward Battles with their Dwarf Alliance. Lots of Durin's Folk and Army of Thor. And they're playing, and this has got to be the biggest twist of the tournament, they're playing Larry and Kieran with the 9 mounted raids, who inexplicably are in the Palantir Cup. The army that can't win a game, that I thought would be on the very bottom table, losing all 7 games, is playing it out for the biggest prize. Amazing effort, guys, well done. And they also have the benefit of, because they were so fluffy, they won one of our awards for Best Army, one of our Palantir cards. Which one do you guys get? So everyone in range of the leader counts as being in range of the banner on 6 inches, which is pretty good for the ring race, I guess. So you're welcome. And those guys actually got one for winning the Arena Champions. What did you get?
The reroll 1 dice.
Reroll any 1 dice once per turn. That was because JT's Shield Bearer came second in the Arena Champions. Dubakar. And the final quarter-final, and my battery has 2 minutes, so hopefully it will last, is made up of Hector and Godolphin with their... there it is. And Sean and James. Sorry. Very early. And that is the various Mirkwood army of the old and the new mixed together. And the Chase army, which is very cool. And it doesn't look like it's going well for the Chase over there. Are they dead? Oh, no, they're not dead, they're fine. So we've got another Radagast on sleigh, a mounted Gandalf, and then some Thorin's Company. So again, making that bit from the film. So early, yeah. So that is the last quarterfinal for the Palantir Cup. So one of these guys down here will win the prize. So what you've hopefully seen by having a brief look at some of those armies is some of the cool stuff that people have brought along. There are 2 Radagasts on sleigh. There's a Balrog, and just people are bringing really fun stuff. So we'll catch up with you later.
Okay, we're here in the semi-final of the Stepping Stones tournament. Games are well underway. We're about 45 minutes to an hour in. A lot at stake on these top tables. All of the ones closest to the stage, so closest to the camera now, the 2 tables closest are in the semi-finals of their respective tournaments. So the cup is here, and on table 1 we have Steve and Jay, regular channel members, and James and Jay. Jay's at his first tournament, so very good showing on his first tournament. And then we've got Hector and Godolphin against Lewis and JT in the other semi-final. Then in the plate we've got Mark and Alan against Richard and Tom. And on the table behind them, you can kind of just make out it's Callum and James against Dan and Ian. And then for the wooden axe competition, we've got our very own Damon O'Byrne playing Chris and Gary, and James Baldwin and Tom Macklin against against Josh and Michael. So, I'm going to walk around the tables now just to give you a feel of how the game's going. Top table, here we are, it's tense. There's Steve, he's noticed the camera. It's a great board, it looks pretty tense.
Just giving James a schooling, you know.
Yeah, can James make it work with the Rohan?
Come on! Rohan!
You guys are confident, aren't you?
Yeah. It's only James, isn't it?
Yeah.
Walk in the park.
Yeah. Here we go, onto table 2. The elves are sneakily firing from the ruins at the dwarves, but the dwarves have a ballista. Oh yes. Bit of a stalemate here as the Urukai are in Weathertop. And the Rivendell Knights coming through. Long way off fighting yet in that one. We move on to a very fluffy game. It's the Ring Wraiths against the Chase, I'd say. Gandalf Radagast.
Radagast has killed 2 so far.
Killed 2 Wraiths on his own.
2 Wraiths on his own.
Even after they've taken all of his will away.
Sad times, Kieran.
Hey, we've been through worse.
But you've got a you both got a Palantir.
Yes.
Have you been using your Palantirs effectively?
For the most part.
Good stuff. Move on. Here we are now in the plate. It's a Balrog. Oh.
He's having a good game.
Yeah?
Ish.
Where's the Great Beast gone?
He died for 666. Okay.
Sad face? Yeah. It looks very tricksy in here as the barrels. Lawrence Company and barrels are taking on Numenor and High Elves.
You could basically don't bother with fellowship stuff if you're facing the classified army stuff.
You're trapped this way.
What do we have here? We have a lot of hobbits.
We finally made it across the river.
How long did that take you?
3 turns.
Okay. And they're gunning down the elves. A bit of a formidable line to come up against there.
Yeah, Galadriel's a big problem. Yeah. Throwing that blinding light up.
What else can I do?
It's always good in the game when a player says, what else can I do?
When you set up a terrain with a rear in the middle, we've got to cross the river with infantry and they get to hide behind a fence with spears, throwing spears, we're in a bit of trouble.
Yes.
We've decided the only way to win this game is to run that way and get a 0-0 draw.
No draws.
Screwed by terrain, everyone.
No draws.
There you go. This game was decided on the roll of which side of the board you started on. And we
Charge.
lost.
Charge.
I've just moved there.
Charge.
That's what I did.
If it had been on the reverse though, we'd have been on that side, there'd have been very little chance we'd have been able to do anything.
The next fight.
It's all different table.
Yes. How's it going?
I just killed a twin. That was unexpected. No, I just killed our general. Oh, he gets a mind point back. Oh, wonderful. wonderful stuff.
Glad I could help. The Army of the Dead against Pelennor Field.
we will have to.
It's themey, but you should be on the same side.
Sorry?
It's themey, but you should be on the same side.
Question. I charge.
Yes.
If I go into combat with him and
Yes.
he's lying down in the river,
Yes.
does he still have to take a swim test if he's in combat?
No, let him off. If he loses, he has to swim to back away. There you go.
I mean, how can they drown? They don't breathe.
Yeah. There we are, into Erebor with the dwarves in Erebor. Yeah, that's good. Gandalf skulking behind the pillar. Oh no, wait.
You know what's
They're
happening,
after
don't
him.
you?
They're after him. And it's double dragon against Thorin.
And Gandalf.
Gandalf.
Oh, and Gandalf.
Hiding behind a tree.
Well done, Gandalf. You can take a dragon.
Also Gandalf hiding in trees. That's a problem.
Cool, and that's a roundup of the tables. What's this? 3 Palantirs. How have you got 3?
Like, keep nicking them off people. It's mine now.
How have the games been going?
Really fun.
Fun.
Very, very fun.
Excellent. And that concludes the roundup of this round. We'll come back in the final round.
Alright, so we have come to it at last. It is the final round of the event. We're currently fairly deep into it. We have 37 minutes left to go. And this is the deciding round. So, as you may have got used to over the last 3 games, this here is the wooden axe, this is the Palantir plate, and over there, the far corner is the main event, in a way I suppose, the Palantir Cup. So, we're going to talk you down the tables and see who's fighting out for what. So, potentially winning the wooden axe in the third of the tournaments, and there's their prize. Is Cristiano and Gary and Tom and James. I guess there's a lot of stress going on in this game, yeah?
Serious. No, you missed all the fun.
Yeah, because with the axe in the balance. I mean, he must be. You can see it over there. It's pretty great, yeah. Cool. Well, just keep it clean, guys. All right. So they will be the winners and the runners-up. And going for 3rd or 4th place is some dude, and Josh and Michael. And they're playing with their awesome Rohan army against our tons and tons of orcs. They're playing for 3rd and 4th in the wooden axe. Next up we have Loki and Matt against Lily. There's a big kind of Harrison thing going on, not a Harrison thing, I apologise. Harrison household thing going on down the side there. Where Thorin's it's in Erebor!
Thorin's company.
We are in Erebor.
Are playing the Blackgate army.
I mean, these guys should really all just get along rather than trying to smash each other up. And they're all fighting inside the walls of Erebor. This is pretty cool. How's it going?
Mirror Gandalfs are both hiding and in casting.
Alright, it's nice. Gandalf here is hiding. He's having a bit of a schizo moment, hiding from himself over here.
I think I'd like to lay down a challenge.
Stepping out and sorceress blasting, I take it, yeah? Stepping out, sorceress blasting, hiding.
Mobilising at the moment just because it's a 2-up.
So how are the company getting on?
It's pretty close. We're both doing terribly, I think is the best way to put it.
Hooray!
Everyone's awful today.
That's the story of this table, the story of this cup, I think. And a B! At the bottom table, and I mean, you won't believe this.
You won't believe it.
You won't believe it.
Well, you're so close to freedom, B.
I think they'll recognise your voice. Yeah. Now, what happened this morning, guys? Why are you here?
This morning we a little bit late for the first game
because
it was a heavy one last night.
Yeah.
Decided to go all the way back home. Had an hour's sleep, then back out again.
That's the sort of thing. Don't drink it. It ruins your chances of winning the wooden axe. And playing them on the bottom table. What happened?
It's all part of the Dragon's plan.
Are you still going to win it? Yeah. Still going to go right to the top. We thought Palantir Cup for you guys. We thought favourites, or not favourites, but
Well, bookies will be happy, won't they?
but what did he do wrong?
So now got a roll He's botched every time he's been in a big fight.
And what did he do wrong?
Collected Palantir and actually been useful in games. Yeah, so
This
this dragon, basically the reason they've lost the game is because he spent all his time collecting shiny stones, which is pretty cool. He's got 3 over the course of the tournament. But yeah, enjoy, guys. And so here, and we'll build up this time because I've realised that's better for the dramatic tension. Here is the Palantir plate. So these guys are playing. These guys are playing for the Palantir, the prizes, the orb. So it's not a lot resting on this. And playing for 7th and 8th position in the Palantir plate, which is 15th and 16th in the tournament overall, is Anna and Olaf. It's Sam Page, who's been indoctrinated into Double Dragon.
Yes.
And Chris. And they're playing against Ben and Michael. And we've got the Moria Balrog army fighting against the Last Alliance. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Balrog's been perfect.
It's a bit iffy. The objectives are mainly help out us.
But there's a Balrog, which is always a tricky factor. Cool. And as we move up the tables, we get to Will and Fran and Tariel and Keeley, who are looking less and less like Tariel and Keeley over see him. And it's the Pelham Fields against the Rangers. How's it go?
Interesting. Smashing on both sides.
Do what?
Dead. Smashing on both sides.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it.
Great Beast is dead.
Great Beast is dead. The Great Beast doesn't sound like he's had the best tournament.
He's had a great tournament.
He's loved it. He's loved it. Cool.
I'm trapped here because I can't back up on my team.
And next up we have the Fiefdoms army, the 4th place Fiefdoms army against the Battle of Greenfields for 3rd and 4th place. How's it going, guys?
Pretty tense.
Pretty tense?
Watch this next 30 seconds, we'll see if Imrul dies.
Alright, let's do it. Let's do some live battle. What's going on?
I lost my charge bonus because I counter charged.
So the Rangers strike.
Yeah, Imrahil's
So we've
fighting
had strike from another combat and another heroic combat in which he killed and Minister Knight of the Lamrock.
So his strike goes up.
Rangers striking up to by 9.
By 9, I didn't strike, unfortunately, so I lose on tyres.
So Imrahil gets a 4, it's not good.
A
5. Which means I can't win.
Imrahil has lost the fight, he's a bit trapped.
I can walk up here, can't I?
I think we're just.
Any? You can probably walk up there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, it's up to you. Yeah, he's back way up there.
I'd like him not to die.
Depends if your plans to trap him.
He's reared up against the wall. How many get up there?
One of us needing 6 is all. Like that one.
2 wounds from Banderbras.
And
Has he been wounded before?
the Ranger.
He's used up mine.
Sam is out of mine as well. He's out of mine. And the Sheriff who was stunning, so needing 4s.
2 wounds though.
2 hits on him.
First 2 fate. Final fate.
Always fate. Pretty good effort.
No
from the
fate,
Hobbits there.
1 might left.
Cool. Enjoy the game, guys. And we will move on to the top table. So these guys are playing it out for the Plantiers, for winning the Plantier plate. And how what have we got? It's the High Elf army against the Free Hunters and the Rohan Boys. How are we getting on, guys? Tense, and yeah. Okay, I'll see you soon. We've got some nice objectives going on this one. Like little barrels, is pretty cool. 3 shots. That's pretty good stuff. And as we come down here to it's Stephen and Ali playing no one. What happened?
The race departed.
The what?
They departed. They went on a holiday.
They departed. So this is a cool game. This was the Chase Army, which is all the Rivendell Knights and the Thoros Company against the 9 mounted. Oh, sorry, I'm Raddy.
No, he died earlier.
Raddy died first turn.
Against the 9 mounted. Well, I say the 9 mounted. Where are their horses?
First game, everything channeled.
Yeah. What did you lunatics do in the first turn?
We were debating trying to win that game without using magic, but in the end we decided it was far funnier to heroic channel with everyone.
Yes. Heroic channel with 9 ring rates.
Yeah, we started the Black Rider ski, and then everything just kind of went splat.
And what did you channel?
Everything.
Black dart.
Transfix.
Did it work?
It kind of gas on turn 1. Forward was translated, Barley was translated. Basically the only person who wasn't was Morrow.
And then a few knights.
decided that he had enough from me, and took his sling and went, that one there. And got his way back and then bowled in everyone to it.
Good stuff.
MVP here.
I gotta say, like, this is the serious tournament. This is the Planting Cup, and you guys have somehow snuck in, like, presumably wearing a disguise and heroic channeling 9 times in 7 months. You're making a mockery of our event. You are in fact doing exactly what we wanted people to do. So well done. How's it going, guys? This is for place 5 and 6.
Yep.
We've got place 5, I suppose. It's the Isengard army against the second Chase army. What's really good about this one is these are made by Sean, I believe. There are some fairly awesome Palantir objectives, which are really cool. We
Radagast defense.
try to encourage people to make
So that's the wound on
Of course,
Radagast.
this is a game of domination, but because the prizes are Planters, we've actually customised it so there's 7.
There you go, sir. Radagast edge.
Our Planter looks a lot like the globe. And there, so they are really good. Well done, sir. They are some top quality Planters. You can actually see that these armies have got some of
2
our
hits.
Planters going on.
See what they hit.
Which are the ones that give them the Saruman special one. Which is pretty cool. So there's actually 10 Palantiri on that, which given that there's 7 in the world is a bit confusing. And so we then get to this table. How you doing, guys? Alright, man? You alright? Having your first game? And we have got the Dwarf, so Army of Thor and Erebor up against the Dale-themed Mercury. So my picks for the tournament, Jay and Steve, they didn't quite make it. They lost in the semi-finals, but still a good result for them, definitely.
Tactical loss. Tactical loss.
He's going to jump. He's going to try and jump.
To play these, you see.
At Swiss ranked, it would work.
I'm only allowed to finish 4th.
Well, this is a really cool board. There's some cool objectives on here. Whose objectives are these? Mine. Jay's, thank you. We've got some sort of giant gold hoop. I don't really know what that is. We've got a kind of statue head. I think Jay's picked up the objectives, which is probably frowned upon in the game. That's cool. That's the Master of Lake Town, and it looks to me from where I'm standing like he's having a pee behind the ghost.
So that was there, yeah?
We've got another one down there. And probably one in the middle, I imagine. No, it's the gold thing.
I only made 6.
So yeah, there's JT from Morgan Battles. Woo! How you doing, man? Have a good time?
Really
good stuff. And so we make it to, got to be very quiet here because this is tense stuff. We make it to the top table. So going on here is these guys will win the Plantir Cup and claim to the Plantiri. They seem to swap sides, which is odd. But we have Hector and Godolphin, and we have James. Oh, GBHL James is in the final, and Jay Acharya. As always, Jay, sorry if I pronounce that wrong. I could ask you how to pronounce it. I mean, you're standing right there, but I don't want to interrupt. So what's cool about this is that Hector and Godolphin have never won a tournament before. GBHL James has never won a tournament before. he's like the only one of the hosts. Hashtag just saying. And Jay has not only never won a tournament before, he's never been to a tournament before. This is his first event. So managing to win at your first round, if they do, would be a pretty awesome scout. So obviously we know these guys' armies by now, probably, if we've been going around filming this relatively well. We've got Hector and Godolphin, who had this beautiful display board here with their trees. It's very lovely. They've got Legolas and Tariel leading some Mirkwood Rangers, and they also have Galadriel and Rumor leading some other Mirkwood elves. So a combination of the old and new elves. And Jay and James are doing the Birth of Rohan list. So that's Ael the Young and 10 Sons of Ael, and a whole Kyrian, I think it is, and a whole bunch of like a captain of Minas Tirith leading some warriors of Minas Tirith and Rangers. So it's kind of like the alliance between Rohan and Gondor, which is really cool and a really nice thing. And it's obviously done very well for them. So I'm just gonna try and go in and see if we can interrupt them. How are we doing, guys?
Thanks. Great.
We all right?
Fun.
Great fun. Yeah, having a good game.
Fantastic tournament.
Don't want to. Oh, thanks. Say it again. Loudly.
Fantastic tournament.
Brilliant stuff. Obviously, don't want to interrupt too much. But yeah, there it is. There is the top table. And we've also got some more lovely objectives here, which were made by Hector and Godolphin, I believe. Actually, slightly psychedelic.
Tolkien-esque is the word you're looking for.
They are Tolkien-esque. They actually, they're the symbols from the books, aren't they?
and Luthien, Melian in the middle.
Oh, I did not get that.
impress the guys who know the name of each of them.
Miriel, the mother of Fionor. Melian, whose girdle was round Doriath. Idril Carabrindle, mother of Tuor. I don't know, someone I know. Luthien. I forget what that one is. That might be Bronway. I'm not sure.
I don't think that's Bronway. I don't think that's Bronway. I think that's Steve.
And that one is the other Luthien.
What are they? What are they?
Sigils.
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 I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Well done.
It's a thing.
Didn't win the quiz though, did you? Anyway. But yeah, some awesome effort gone into that. So well done, guys, and enjoy.
And I would highly recommend this is my first doubles game. I highly recommend it. Relax, great fun game.
Checks in the post. So I'm not sure if I mentioned it a minute ago, but just a really cool fact about that is that the winner, I don't think I have mentioned it, the winner of this tournament, both of them will never have won a tournament before, a GBHL tournament before, which of course was exactly the point of this event. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that is how things stand at this point in the tournament. A couple of games are finishing, so they finished their tournament, and we will get on to the various selections. I'll just show you this. This is our raffle that we're about to do after the game closes. Lots of stuff in here. We've got some dice, we've got some mid-Sussex Wargamers dice, kindly donated by Sam. We've also got some Awkward Battles dice, and these dice kindly donated by JT Noble. Some other prizes in here, we've got some Warriors Variable, which were very generously donated by Mr. Al Wood. So thanks for that. We've got Elrond Foot Mounted, Franville, Eagles, so lots of cool prizes in there. And yeah, we'll be drawing that soon. So yeah, come back. So this is amazing. In the final of the Wooden Axe, we got a draw which we hadn't really planned on. So what the four players have decided to do, in the wonderful spirit of competition, seeing as they both had Aragorn, they now have Aragorn v Aragorn, and we're having an Aragorn off to decide who wins the Wooden Axe.
5-5.
We have decided that
So he's going to roll off his time,
there is no might in this. So both Aragorns have 3 wounds and 3 fate, and we'll film this to show you how it goes. There's been 2 combats so far.
1 wound, he's down to 2 wounds, and no fate.
No, he's got fate, 3 fate.
He's got 3 fate?
Yeah, 3 fate.
Oh, okay, 3 fate. First one.
And they've got no might, and they're going to duke it out, 3 wounds, 3 fate, and see which Aragorn survives.
Wow, 4 high.
But yeah, the first 2 rounds of combat were both tied, so Aragorn clearly knows how to deal with Aragorn.
So yeah, 4-5.
So what's currently happened is Gary's Aragorn has lost a fate point.
Fails, second fate. Passes.
And Tom's Aragorn has now lost 2 might points. So
2 fate down.
Isildur's heir Aragorn gets.
I'm rolling my dice.
Remember, these guys have no might. So Army of the Dead Aragorn gets 4. Isildur's heir Aragorn takes it. Needs 5 to win. Oh, yes! He's done 2.
He's done a wound.
Last fate point.
Yep, he's done 1 wound.
Tom's Aragorn is down to 2 wounds.
Alright, Slayer dice.
There you go. Tom gets a 5-5. And Gary takes 4. Which means if he rolls 2 5s or more, he can kill Aragorn and win the Wooden Axe. It's awful. It's absolutely awful, and we're back to the start of the combat. And Tom gets a 6. He's found his form. Cheating Slayer. Oh! Now he gets a 6.
1 to 3.
Roll off. Yep. Goes to Gary. 2 5s to kill Aragorn and win the Wooden Axe. He's got 1. 1 wound, 1. Army of the Dead Aragorn is down to 1 wound remaining. Tom gets a 6. Gary gets 5. Tom has taken it. It's been a while. 5 to win. He's got 2 fate remaining, I believe. He needs this. Oh, he's made 1 of them, meaning he's down to 1 wound.
Yep.
They are both Aragorn.
I called 3.
He calls 3. They are both down to 1 wound, no fate. No, he used it. Yeah. Tom gets. That's a 4. It's 4. Gary gets a 5. A 5 or more to kill him and win the Wooden Axe. Great stuff. Congratulations, guys. We have our winners. Outstanding work. Well done. And that is the end of our tournament. Hey. Thank you. Good night. So obviously we've got a lot of prizes to get out, but we've got a few kind of notes and thank yous and stuff to say. So first of all, I'm going to say on behalf of Tom and I, because traditionally I'm the gobby one in this partnership. Thanks to all of you guys. Thanks so much for coming and supporting this event. We very much set out to create a themed kind of event, and there's themed events in the past where they're really good, they're written really well and everything, and then you end up playing 6 games of SPG and you kind of lose sight of it. We really wanted to ram down your throats that it was about the planted. So going throughout the game, it seemed to work well, but seeing lots of little planters around the place and stuff, and it was cool. So thank you for getting on board with that. I know it was a very strange system with like the group stages and doubles and the knockout thing and the army section. It was all a bit weird, but we didn't. When we set the rules back out, we were like, we're going to get so many questions about this, and we're going to, this is terrible. But no one said anything, and everyone seemed to really get on board with it. So thank you for that. We hope you enjoyed it, and I don't know, maybe we'll see some other events like that with the cup and stuff or something. But yeah, cheers for that. Thanks to you all so much for getting on board and doing the themed armies. That is amazing. Give yourselves a round of applause for that. The whole thing, you could still break this, you could still take, Moria with Shamans and Goblin Town, and no one did. And we didn't enforce that, and you all did that, and it's awesome. And it's really great to see the kind of community getting on board in the spirit of the event, and that means a lot to us. And I know we said this in the pub last night, but some people were there. There was not a single Shaman here, which showed us love. No Goblin, Orc, or Shaman. So well done for that. You got it. So cheers for that from us. We do have. He is good about it, isn't that Fury? Yeah. No one, when you deploy Goblin Shaman, no one's worried about mobilise, are they? We do have some thanks that we want to say before we hand out prizes. Firstly, thanks to everyone who turned up early yesterday and helped us set up. There were lots of you here, more than we expected. People were sending us messages, so cheers for that. Give yourselves it's much appreciated and helps us to facilitate everything. You will probably know this as Titans War Games Club, and this weekend the Titans had the weekend off. Damien literally pissed off to, where is he? Belgium? He's on tour dressed as a panda, isn't he? Yeah, he's in Belgium. So Chris was having the weekend off, but Chris and Damien gave us so much help and support throughout this on things like the venue, hiring, the rules pack style. Scenery, yeah. So, and just support and opening up yesterday, so we couldn't have done this without you, so can we hear it first? We're now going to do what Americans do at the end of the cinema and clap people who aren't here. So throughout the weekend you had very outstanding catering services. Fallon's not here, but I'm sure she's going to watch the video because she's weirdly into nerds. And if you can give it up for Fallon, please. And give it up today for Emma, who won't watch the video. And on that subject, a round of applause to Emma and Lily for baking. Yeah. Make sale of a wargaming event went surprisingly well. So we've got 4 bits of cake left for 50p if you want them. It's not got hard sitting out for 2 days. And yeah, also we'd like to thank Lily for running the amazing quiz last night. That was top fun, and I think the questions really encourage people of intelligence, that kind of thing. So you needed to be very smart to win that quiz, I think, and sexy. Nah. But yeah, cheers, Lily. I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but there were 7 rounds with 7 questions each. It's like the plan. Yeah, so cheers for that. That was awesome and another fun addition. If you got a plantain, a marble, it's not a marble, marble on base, you get to keep that. Yeah, so if you have got one of those, you get to keep those little. And also, we wanted to give a small award, spoilers, to the best grabby thieves who got the most. And there was actually a tie. It was a tie of the quality of thief we have around us. And that was between the Cult of Double Dragon. It's not a cult. Sorry. And David Nolan and Michael Romby, who both ended the day with 3 Galantis. Stay where you are. Right, that's one's going to get trickier.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So that's 6, which is half of them just between you. The dragon holding 3. Also, if you got one of these, you're obviously awesome because you're picturing Theme the Army, and you get to keep that. And try and convince people you can use it in the games. We'd also like to say well done to everyone who made objectives, who got on board with that. We went around and gave everyone Freddo for that, so cheers. There were some really awesome Palantir themed objectives about, and 2 incredibly awesome objectives from Chris, which were really, really good, so cheers for that.
Before we go any further then.
Ooh.
One for you.
Got me here and here. Thanks, Chris, they're awesome. I got you too, which is better.
I agree.
Cool. So I think, we didn't talk about this, but I think that's it. If we've missed anyone huge or chronic or anything, I'm very, very, very sorry.
To the huge people who you may have missed, obviously the people that organised this entire tournament, so can we hear it?
Thank you very much, you're all very sweet.
Are these the photos I sent?
Yeah.
They're still going shop?
Oh yeah, we didn't actually eat them all, that was just a joke. This box of Freddos was actually donated by Billy. Cool. So. Yeah, those are all the little bits, thanks so much for that. And so we are on to the main prizes. And awards. Well, there's some smaller prizes.
Is it in the box?
You go for it.
Okay, so first prize that's going up, we know the winners of these ones, but it was the champion of the arena. So how many heroes? We had 48 heroes to start with.
You're the maths
The
nerd.
top 2 were both dwarves. The runner-up was Shield Bearer, it's JT Noble. Okay, and the winner of the arena with Gloin is Sean Wyman. Okay, so on to the pub quiz, which was fiendishly difficult. We have quite a few winners. The winners of the pub quiz on a tie with the other team, and they won because they were marginally closer to the number of words in the Lord of the Rings. The winners are Damien O'Byrne, Steve Crow, James Clark, Theo Howard, Fallon, not here, Jay Finnegan, that's it.
I think that's it. do cool things throughout this, and we wanted to award people who've gone to that extra bit of effort. No one knows about this prize because it was something we decided to do kind of on the spur of the moment. And there were a few people who really got into the spirit of everything and to do the army and the fancy dress and everything. And there was one that we were really impressed with. So we have an award for the best dragon-themed cult. And it took us a while, but we have decided to give this to Fran and Will because they had all the black dragons in your arm. No, this is going to James and Jamie for their outstanding efforts with the robes and the insanity and the ring of the fire and for coming so very nearly last.
Flying Fredosh.
Just go back to you. I'm going to do that too. I have to do that just this one. Alright, so the next one is the award for the best fancy dress, which we have dubbed Most Fabulous. And this was tough because lots of people got really into it, but we've decided to split it. Actually, so we've got thank you to everyone, and I'm sure some of you will be disappointed. Some of you wore dresses for no good reason.
Perfectly good reason.
What fancy dress?
Yeah.
Bank holiday.
Yeah.
So we're going to split it, and the first one we're going to give it to is James Ale the Young Clark. Even though he wasn't really, even though he wasn't really wearing a fancy dress.
He wasn't wearing anything.
Sorry. He mainly snuck it for his commitment, because he was looking like a moron for the entire day. And the second one I'm going to give it to, again for the dedication, the extra mile. We've only got one certificate, so if only there was some entity that we could give it to, so we are giving it to the cult of Double Dragon. There you go. Bag of lenses. What's this? Oh. Yeah. Cool. So we now come to Best Painted Army.
Thanks, James.
Thanks everyone who voted. Quite a few of you got votes, which is great. Quite a lot of you got quite a few votes. There was a joint second place, and I'm going to name them anyway just because it's nice to know that you got quite a lot of votes. And the joint second place were Hector and Dolphin.
Hey!
And Theo and Rich. But the standout winner with the Battle of the Five Armies force is Steve Crow and Jay Finnegan. calendar for the rest of the year and 5 nice posters.
Okay, so the last of the awards before we move on to big ones. This is the most honourable team. Again, loads of you got votes, which is absolutely great. Everyone was playing in the spirit. There was one team that just snuck it with quite a lot of votes, though, and that's Tom Macklin and James Baldwin.
And your prize for this is, obviously a friend, but your prize for this is £10 of store credit, courtesy of JT. Go and have a chat with him, he'll do it wrong. Okay, so we are going to get to the. Are we doing the? Okay, so we're now on to a cool bonus prize. As we said yesterday, Jamie Giblin very kindly donated this full retail price version of the Escape from Goblin Town. Give it up to him. £80. It's an awesome prize, and we wanted to give it to something cool. So we didn't have this planned. We didn't know what we were going to give it to. It was something that really caught our eye over the weekend, or like James yesterday. But something different, or I don't know, something cool. And we thought long and hard about it. There were a lot of contenders, but in the end, we have decided to give it to Kieran and Larry for getting the worst army I have ever seen into the Atlantic Cup. It's an army that should win no games and somehow managed to get into the cup, at which point I think it's fair to say they were found out. Yeah, bottom of that one. Yeah.
3 straight losses once we got in.
In terms of getting into the spirit of things, you did outstanding. It's exactly the sort of thing we're after, and so I guess you take it home and take half the pieces each. So, with that, we go on to the first of the actual plans. These are the real shinies. So, the first one we're going to award is the most heroic act. This was awesome. We had loads of these throughout the weekend and they were great, and we're dismissing some of them that could have won it just because there were so many awesome other ones. But we thought we've got some honourable mentions and some of these are quite funny. So we thought we'd go through some of these reviews. So we have, this is a late entry from Anna and Olaf, which was Slippy G, the Goblin Warrior, engaged the High King Gilgalad after passing 2 courage tests. He then won the fight on a 6, then rolled 6/6 to wound him. Fate was not shining on the Elf Lord as he failed his fate roll. This happened mine. We playing Mike. It says this happened Mike. It's been.
He's bit, yeah.
He said yeah.
Yeah, he said that, yeah.
This one was from Alistair and Stephen. After witnessing a magical onslaught in which Radagast the Brown was slain and all other heroes stood transfixed and engaged by the 9. This, incidentally, is because those 2, the 9, in their last game, heroic channeled with all 9 of them in the That is why they have to play. Transfixed engaged by the 9. Ori, youngest of the company, brought up his slingshot and with precise dead aim navigated the race's magical defence, banishing the fell spirit. What that means, translated from Kieran into English, I believe didn't Ori, what did he hit on a 6?
Double 6.
Hit on a 6, hit the Wraith.
No, 2 6s with his 2 shots.
Yeah,
gone.
Gone. Tales of Ori OP will be told throughout the generation. And then something like 6s were required for all of these. So that's pretty awesome. This one's cute, it's called Dorry's Day. In 2 consecutive rounds, Dorry single-handedly beat Aragorn in combat. Morale destroyed, Aragorn then fled from the table. I liked this. This was Lily did this. I think. Yeah, Lily did this. Boromir in combat killed Achilles. Tariel then runs over and smashes Boromir in one turn. That's true love. Smashes Boromir in one turn. This one is, the team name is Barrels, I don't know who that is. Bill was in the first game. Bill just stayed in the river for the entire game, picked up the Palantir and rode it off the wall. That was pretty cool. I don't know which team this is from, but I'll just read it as written. Fire charged into Galadriel. She won the fight and wounded our mighty dragon with her bare hands. Don't know who that was from. Sad face, yeah. Radagast resisted the magical will of the Nine, then went on a rampage, killing 3 and the Witch King. That's from Sean and James again. This one's from Tom and James. Whilst heroically scouting behind enemy lines, a lone warrior of the dead tragically confused himself with a dead marsh spectre and drowned in the river. It wasn't that heroic, really. That was from Tom and James. And a dwarf ballista hit an elf who then went straight into a rock wall and stood up and brushed off the dust. Because he was nailed. So that was from Hector Godolphin. And so we come to the winner, which, I'm not going to lie, we had yesterday. And we had it as our front runner and nothing tops it, because this is truly exceptional. This was from Tom White and Richard Clammer. And in the Save the Stone scenario, so the one where there's the army in the middle, and they have to be wiped out, after an onslaught from Aragorn and the Elvish twins, in which Prince Imrahil was slain, one lone man-at-arms, with the aid of his knight in shining armour, faced off against Elladan, the leader of the attacker's force. With a lovely fluff of Elladan's rolls, the knight knocked the Elvish lordling to his knees, and the man-at-arms avenged his fallen comrade, I think, and pierced Elladan's heart. Right? So man-at-arms kills him. That's good. What that doesn't tell you is that the man-at-arms was the last defender left alive. So if Elladan charges in and kills him, they win the game. He fights him off, he then kills Elladan, and in that killing their leader, I believe, and wins the game for them. That is absolutely spectacular. So the award for most heroic act is going to Tom White and Richard Clammer, but we do need to know whose model it was. It was Richard's. So the award for most heroic act goes to... Okay, we're on to the next which is the best themed army. So it's a choice between 5. You should know if you're nominated. We had a really hard choice. We tried to think of everything that people have done over the weekend as well, and you know, if they've done objective markers, or if they've dressed up, or if they've done conversions, etc., etc. It was a horrible decision to make, and we could have given it to, well, not just the 5 that were in the final, but we had a short list of about 10, 12, and all of them could have won it. But the people we gave it to, in the end, are Tom Macklin and James Baldwin.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, thanks for getting into the spirit of it, everyone. That was really odd. The fact that it was such a tough choice is a credit to you all. So the next one, the first of the tournament, we are going to be giving out the prize for the wooden axe. And obviously there is there's a run. Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? There is a runner-up for this as well. So the defeated finalists in the wooden axe, it was actually a draw in the game. Yeah. So we decided that the only fair way to sort it out was an Aragorn, because they both had Aragorn. So the two Aragorns scrapped in the middle of the field and both reduced each other to 1 wound, no fate. And eventually, Tom Macklin and James Baldwin's Aragorn fell. And so they are the runners-up of the wooden axe. It's actually plastic. This is outstanding. So, the winners of the wooden axe, it won't surprise you if you were watching the tables because you know who was playing it, but what may surprise you, the point of this format, as opposed to a Swiss ranked tournament, was that on the last day, the only way you could win is by winning all 3 of your games. Yeah? You have to win your quarterfinal, win your semi-final, and win the final. So if you slipped up, you were gone, right? And the awards for it, the winners were Chris and Gary. Okay? But before you clap them, what's important to tell you is that there was a team missing this morning. So they got a bye in the first round. They then, when they were playing against me, actually we recorded it as a loss and afterwards realised that we hadn't been rolling to end the game. So we gave them some dice and they rolled a 1 in the spirit of sportsmanship. So they had a rescinded result for that one. And then in the last round, against Tom and James, we just told you, they got a draw. And then Aragorn won. So they have won the wooden axe without winning a game. We owe them wisely. Yep, cheers. Thankfully, that's the kind of nonsense
the game we played, we actually played a game in the round we got a bye. We still lost that.
Okay. So in the last round, in the Plantain play, there were 2 teams playing for the Plantain, which is an outstanding.
Oh, Gary's got a head off, guys. Last one. Cheers, lads.
Which is an outstanding prize for 9th place in the tournament. I don't think there's ever been this tense 9th to 10th place off at a tournament in the last game. But sadly for them, the unlucky losers, and a great tournament, they got out of the group of death into this Plantain play, but it's happened to milestone. Thank you. Oh yeah.
It's Jim Davidson building. Have a look at this brilliant.
Thank you.
It is, isn't it? It's really creepy.
But the winners, the Plantain plate, is Calmy Vincent James Watt.
Yeah, Callum's open the boot because after we only went, I'm going to do a decent thing and let James do. So that's two. Let's not forget they did essentially come ninth. The main event. Yeah. And I think one of the things I was happy about main event was playing in the final. We knew that someone was going to win the event who'd never won an event before in the GBHL, which is what we were hoping for with this. So that was awesome.
Yeah. Both teams have had a great run to the final, and it was always going to be sad to see one of the teams lose, given that neither of them had won an event before. But just picked in the final, it's Hector and Godolphin. The winner overall, pulled through by somebody who's never even attended a Great British Hobby League event before in his life. But finally, thanks to the help of his partner, GBHL James Clark can actually win an event. And Jay Acharya is also won his first time of asking, which is amazing. So well done, guys.
That is the end of the event. Thanks all so much to everyone for everything you did and getting in the spirit of it. We really appreciate it. We had a great time and we will do it again next year. We are going to, in about, I don't know, quarter of an hour, 20 minutes, we are going to Catcher in the Rye to get some food and have a debrief drink. And if any of you want to join us, you're more than welcome. Cheers guys, it's been awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.